Dear friends, now we will talking about the talent management part with the relationship to the leadership is concerned. So basically what is happening is that is in new economy and society, there are a lot of changes are going on, and we are shaping the new models and the standards, driving caliber and collaborative action for the systematic changes are there. So what changes are going on? So it is working as a hub and the leaders and innovators. Nowadays what is happening is that is the entrepreneurship, the innovations and new startups, especially in the context of the Indian economy, when we are talking about the talent is working on these startups are there. And earlier the rate of the startups was very less, but nowadays we find that is the especially the IITians and the from the other institutes, the graduates, they are coming out with the new innovators are there. And this is counting them, the center is committed to fostering the widespread prosperity, resilient communities are there, and the inclusive growth is there. So when we say that the jobs are less, so this has been compensated, and only not only this thing that is for the livelihood, they are going for the entrepreneurship, but the society is working towards their own startup. The generation G is looking for that is the how they can be the owner of their own business, rather than only working for the other organizations are there. So that this offers into the three critical areas, that is boosting economic growth, and the while the preparing for this the potential risk, promoting equity and the inclusion is there. We know that is the whenever we are talking about the startups or starting in enterprise, there is a potential risk is also there, and here we need to have that prompting equity and inclusion. So every part of the society that requires the inclusion and the investing in the talent and human capital is there. So we find that is a lot of KBOs, knowledge based organizations, they are emerging. Many service industries, they are coming out with the helping of this is the different parts of the society, and through insights, initiatives and the open dialogues, that it aims to the drive the managerial change and build a more equitable and the thriving world is there. Now the future of jobs, when we talk about the, then it is taking the initiatives, and especially it is the support the creation of the new job and the income opportunities are there. When we talk about the creation of the new jobs and income opportunities, it is making the investments and the technology. Nowadays the buzzword is the AI, and when we are talking about the AI at workplace, so many people have accepted it as a challenge in the sense of the positive concept, that is they want it is AI or technology, yes it is helpful, and they want to adopt that particular changes, and they are accepting the challenges. However, this is also true that many organizations, they think it is a threat is there. So here we talk about the support the creation of these new jobs, so it is helping for the creation of the human capital and development of the human capital is there. As a result of which the talent pools that emerging industry needs, they are catering this type of the requirements are there. Second is that is the future job initiatives, that is the global trends on labor markets is going on, that is about the job creation, enabling job transitions are there, and that is prepare workers for the dynamic job transitions are there. The academic institutes are playing a very important role, and in India we find it is a new education policy which has been initiated and has given the strong support for the skill based the practices, and it is not only the knowledge, but that is about the how the skills are to be developed by the individuals while working for a particular course or academic assignment. So these job transitions to be needed in the context of the labor market and disruption around the world is there. So this preparation of the workers for the dynamic job transitions, that is the very important future job initiatives. Here I would like to mention that is the earlier the jobs were focused, the people were penetrating the jobs only through the help of knowledge, but now the focus is equally shifted to the skills also. So during our learning, it is very important, I will advise you, identify what skills you are developing. because knowledge will also get upgraded with the skills, but unless and until you are not having the practice, first hand experience on the skills, then it will be difficult. Now you may say that is as we find it is difficult to, some of you us may find it difficult to develop those particular skills. So here I have already discussed that is a personality job fit, and we should know that is the what skills I can develop. I will discussing later on also. Number of skills are available. It is not necessarily that you have to develop a particular skill, and for every skill, if you are expert in that particular skill, there is a lot of opportunities for your the future career. So my submission is this, that is, know your personality, identify, try different skills, and then when you will try different skills, you will come to know that yes, this is a skill which I can learn and I can work on this particular skill, and then develop that particular skill as an expert, and I'm sure that you will be making these your position in this disruption market, labor market. Drive improvement of the global job quality is there. So collective action to promote good work practices are there and increase the job quality globally. Now you see that it is a global citizenship and global competition, right? So when we say, our prime minister says Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, so therefore in that case, when you are becoming the global citizen, then definitely you are also competing globally, and here when you want to compete globally, you have to improve your job quality, and these are increasing the job quality globally, you have to make the more and more practice, and that we already know. In our the ancient literature, it has been mentioned that is, if you want to be the master of any skill, then just practice, practice and practice. Like the Lord Sri Krishna has told to the Arjuna, that is the if you want to be the master in your archery, then in that case there is a one solution only. The same has been explained by the Eklavya with the Dronacharya is there. So therefore in that case, improvement of the global job quality will be, you have to get the deeply involved, and that is the nothing but the engagement. So it is not the employee engagement, but it is also the job engagement. Whatever job you are doing, if you are deeply engaged into your job, definitely you will be develop the global quality. Now ensure that is the AI leads to the job augmentation and productivity growth is there. That this adoption of the technology such as the generative AI leads to the job augmentation and labor productivity growth rather than the job displacement is there. I will like to give the example of the many industries, especially the banking industries, automobile industries. We can see like the State Bank of India is there, or when we see the Hyundai is there. Then all these examples where the technology is going to be the growth rather than the job displacement is there. Here, when we talk about the future jobs are there, then as per the World Economic Forum report, the future of the job reports 2025, here the net job growth is 7% by the 2030. That is the 78 million new jobs will be there. So growing jobs are the frontline career economy, education, tech, and the green jobs will be growing most. The third one is the declining jobs are the clerical and secretarial jobs that will be declining most. Skill shift to 39% of the skills will change. Analytical thinking, resilience, flexibility, and leadership, the top skills needed. The key drivers for this is the digital access, artificial intelligence, climate change, economic trends, and the demographics are there. The upskill needed is in the demographics, as you know, that is India is the youngest country, and therefore in that case we are having the strong support as a key driver for fulfillment of the future jobs. The upskilling needed is that is 85% of employers plan to upskill the workers are there, and automation impact, more tasks shared between the people and machines are there. So when we are talking about all these aspects, I would like to give certain examples. For the top Indian original global leaders are Sundar Pichai, then the Satya Nadella, Shantanu Narayan, then the Leena Nair, Arvind Krishna, Jayashri Ulal, Nikesh Arora, Ajay Banga, and the Sanjay Mehrotra are there. And now let us see their profile also, because that will give us the direction, that is the how we are going to make this particular career path, the roadmap for our future job requirements, or the career developments, or the making the contribution towards the as an entrepreneur, innovator, or as an employee even. So he is the CEO of the Alphabet Incorporation since Google, and joined the Google in 2004 as a product manager. He's played a very key role in the developing and launching Google Chrome in 2008. Here, they manage the major products like the Chrome OS, Gmail, Google Drive, and the Android. He became the CEO in 2015 and appointed the CEO of the Alphabet Incorporation in 2019. So, focuses on the artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and digital access is there. His development of then the Gemini AI and the Pixel devices and the Google Cloud, known for his strategic vision, innovation, and the calm leadership style is there. So, dear friends, when we are talking about the characteristics of a talent, right, and in the characteristics of the talent is the first foremost is that is a leadership. And we already talked a lot about the leadership with the creation of the vision is there. So you see that is in the 2015, since or before that maybe, but he has brought that is AI concept, and that now you see the fruits of that particular efforts, that is the everywhere how the market is created. And second is about the innovative ideas, so creative work environment, right? And then when the this is the quality of the talent, that is a talent gets the leadership by creating the creative environment at the workplace. And he is after this type of these innovations which are leading the Google at the first place, and therefore this is the way his leadership style is there. When we talk about the Satya Nadella and then the chairman CEO of the Microsoft, and this is about his detailed profile is there, you can see on the slide. And if we talk about his leadership style, right, so therefore in that case his leadership style is transforming the leadership style Microsoft's culture towards the collaboration, innovation, and empathy is there. Both the leaders, as you see, that is very focused on the innovation or creativity is there, and this makes them to the leader. So we have talked about the leadership traits and the talent identification. So in the talent identification, how do you identify that the person is talent? I always use this example. That is how to identify the CEO in the class. And the CEO in the class, that a high order of thinking, it is that is through the innovation, creativity, something plus, right? And therefore that is that plus is adding to making you the different from others is there. And here keeping the balance into the human values, that is the empathy, and then the vision and the team building, that is becoming the leadership traits, which a talent practices. A talent always believe in the team building. It is not the me, it is the we. So therefore in that case, that is a collaboration is there, and through collaboration this particular the CEO, he is making the more and more innovations, and we see the results. Important point is this, that is simultaneously the leader, there Satya Nadella, is concerned with the empathy also. So the talented people, right, it is not that they are leading towards the only technological expertise, but they are equally balancing the human aspect. The people, those who are working with them, the team builders, are always concerned with their team members. When we are talking about the Shantanu Narayan, then in that case we find that he is the world's the top business leaders. He is listed on the Fortune's Business Person of the Year ranking is there, and he is known for the again here the driving innovation, right? So therefore the innovation criteria, and that is leading to the digital media marketing and the document solutions, that has made him to the leader. Again, it is talent is visionary, talent is working with these technological developments, and talent is also having that particular the skills which are the understanding the future needs, the future technology, future skills requirement, and accordingly he has developed. If we talk about the Lina Nair, global CEO, then in that case it is known for the diversity, inclusion, and employee well-being at a Unilever is concerned. Now you see again here you find inclusive leadership. challenge does not work in isolation. Here I want to emphasize this particular aspect, that is, whenever you are into a business is the society, it is a community, and therefore when society and community alone cannot grow, you have to grow with the others, and with the support of others, and you have to make the others also to grow, and that particular inclusive leadership that will make you successful. So talent is always believe in the inclusive leadership and not the exclusive leadership. And here it is the employee well-being is the becoming the very important aspect. 2 days back only, we Department of Management Studies IIT Roorkee has completed the Hope Conference, that is on the happiness, that is well-being is concerned, and the it is always taken care of, that is the talented people, they are having that empathy and concern for others, and that well-being making them the empathetic leadership is there. The talent is always concerned with the empathy, and naturally when we are talking about the business, then the flexibility, sustainability, and productivity and growth, these are that leadership concepts she is practicing as a CEO, and therefore, and especially she is also emphasizing more on the women's empowerment, and she has been the featured in Times Women of the Year 2024, and the several global leadership rankings are in her name. When we are talking about the Mr. Arvind Krishna, Chairman and CEO IBM, and here we find that is he is working into the areas of the hybrid cloud, AI, and quantum computing, and recognized for his technical expertise, right? And strategic leadership and the focus on innovation is there. I have talked about so far the 4 leaders, and you find all the 4 leaders, the one common personality trait is there, and that is about the innovation is there. They are working into the different areas, but the 2 areas are there have been found very much common. First is that is about their expertise into their work, and second is they are also highly concerned with the people, and these are balancing the technology with the human capital, and that is making him the strategic leader. And this strategic leadership style, and focusing on the new ideas, generation of these new technology products, and that is becoming him, giving him that is that the leadership position. When we are talking about the Jayashree Ulal, President and CEO Arista Networks, then if we find that is what type of the leadership style she is having, so she is among the top self-made woman in business and recognized for her leadership in technology is concerned. So here we find that that is your job knowledge, your skill expertise that make you the very successful leader. When we are talking about the Mr. Nikesh Arora, and then we find about that is the he is known for the business transformations. We already talked the different style of the leadership is there, and this is a business transformation and investments globally that he is known. Earlier, when we have talked about the Satya Nadella also, and the Sundar Pichai, and we found that is it is a transformational leadership style. The talent is having the transformational leadership style, and as a result of which they lead the organizations, and to lead the organizations, their future understanding is very important. That is what vision. So for next 10 year, if you make yourself for the any roadmap, and that is your vision, that is for next 10 years I will be working like this, and therefore I will be developing my career path like this is there. You will say, sir, is there not any threat? Yes, I know there will be the environmental threats is there, but that makes you the more challenging, and you have to accept those challenges and come forward or overcome those barriers, and that's why the leaders are less and followers are more. Now when we talking about the Mr. Ajay Vanga, and then served as the chair of this International Chamber of Commerce recipient awards like the Padma Shri and the Ellis Island Medal of the Honor, And here we find that is the his style of leadership is also the transform the Mastercard into a leading digital payment company is there, and this is and he is the president of the World Bank also. So therefore, in that case, we find that he is the CEO and executive chairman of the Mastercards is there. It means that when we see the leaders and then we identify their talent, so in general, the personality traits which are coming out is that they are the visionary, they are expertise in their skills, they are the expertise in the future the technological changes, using their skills for the developing of the new products, and that they are very innovative. Now question arises, that is when we are talking about the talent acquisition, then what are the global recruitment methods are there? I will like to take the first example of the Google, and then in we find it is a structured hiring is there, and this ensures the consistency and fairness in the evaluations. Now work the sample test to provide the practical insights into the candidate skills. And there here when we talk about the Googliness fit, that is assessing the culture and innovative alignment. I have spoken in my earlier sessions about the cultural quotient, right? And therefore the what is the cultural quotient? The cultural quotient is the developing the adaptability for the existing culture. If you are enough flexible, if you are adaptable, first you have to identify what is the culture is there. Culture means practices. Every organization is having the different practices. So when we are talking about this octopus, there is openness, confrontation, trust, authenticity, proactiveness, autonomy, collaboration, and the experimentation. Then in that case it becomes very important, that is what type of culture is there. Some organizations they are having the openness, some organizations they require the collaboration more, some organizations they require the authority, authenticity. The some examples of the leaders which we have taken, they are the authority in their areas, and some the organizations they require the trust building. So therefore in that case the every organization is having a particular culture. Google is also having its own culture. Maybe the innovativeness one example we can check. Now what is required, the talent is required, that is the whatever the innovative alignments is there, that is to be done. Dear friends, innovation is not a very complex word, it is not a very complex concept. Every individual, every human brain is innovative in the ideas, right? Only thing is the enabling environment is to be provided by the leader. When leader provides the enabling environment, and then you see that is how this young generation they are coming with the innovative ideas, and they solve the many problems of the society is there. Now but the quality is not compromised, and therefore the bar riser panel, that is a guarantee unbiased and high quality hiring is there. And if we talk about the Amazon, then here ensure the high hiring standards to the trained interviewers are there. When we talking about that is the hiring standards means then therefore your all the talent identification will be done, and how to do the talent identification and how organizations are doing the talent identification, I will give the examples further. But basically they try to identify that is the whatever is your attitude is there, whatever the knowledge of the skills, and as you know these application tracking system ATS is there, and when the thousands of applications are coming every day for the jobs, and then the software that will have the keywords, and on basis of those keywords the candidate will be identified. So here the leadership principle is the best interviews, and here the aligns the evaluation with Amazon's leadership principles are there. Like in the Google has talked about the googliness, that is about the culture. Similarly the Amazon, it talks about its culture. So we have to understand the culture. For example, our IIT system is there, and in IIT system we find it is a teaching, research, and projects in consultancy that has become the practices. And therefore if you are going by the better teaching practices, you are going by the better these research practices, and creating these projects and the consultancies to help the other stakeholders of the society, and that's why the IITs are into the leadership positions. So here similarly the Amazon is also having its own culture of leadership principles, and they work on and identify the challenge on the leadership principles. So there another important focus is of the Amazon is the AI and data analytics. So they uses the technology to screen resume, as I have given the application TS example, and identify the candidates are there. And there is the internal mobility on the promoting the employees from the within is there. Now I would like to take the example of the talent acquisition by the Microsoft is concerned. And when we are talking about the Microsoft, it is having the inclusive hiring program designed for the neurodiverse individuals, and the veterans are there, and therefore in that case they will be having the different types of the recruitment hiring practices. Then their strong presence in the global universities with the internship pipelines are there, hackathons and challenges. This I would like to mention and talk with you on this particular point. Nowadays the all the global leading organizations, they are having that particular hackathons, and through hackathons only, that is code challenges, and the hackathons especially for the tech roles are there, and I will advise you that is please participate into the hackathon. When you will participate into the hackathon, then you will be developed into the skill based interviews. You will be able to crack the technical and behavioral rounds, emphasizing potential and the soft skills are there. So when we are talking about this Tesla, then in the Tesla it is a practical tests are there, that is engineers solve the real world problems are there. The social media and the referral driven, that is becoming the Elon Musk posts the jobs on the Instagram, then you find that is the fast track hiring and expedite hiring for the manufacturing roles are there, and this is a lean interview process that prioritize the speed and the results are there. Now I would like to take the example of the Apple's talent acquisitions, that is innovation portfolios are there, and the headhunting is there. Similarly, the intense panel interviews are there, and the minimal job descriptions that they have preferred. So there here you will find that is the buzzword, and that is becoming the whether in your portfolio is there any something innovativeness. Is there something which the research you have done? Have you something different from the others? So intense panel interviews, they will try to identify that is the in fact what sort of the talent acquisition do you have, and the minimal job descriptions are there, and therefore it will be always the open era. Now, after going through these all practices, if we find out that is what are the global recruitment practices are there, and these are the certain practices. The first is the employer branding. My one PhD scholar, now he is in IIT Tirupati, he has worked on the employer branding, and therefore the servant leadership and employer branding is there. So here the Google and the Salesforce, they are showcasing company culture, values and mission to attract the top talent is there. When we are talking about the skill based hiring, so there in the IBM and Unilever we find that is hiring based on the competencies, not just degrees, the job titles are there. Now when we are talking about the AI and automation, the Amazon and IBM, they are using tools to screen resume, schedule interviews and reduce bias. So global talent pools are there. Examples are the Microsoft and Meta, and recruiting from the international markets via online platforms, and the global job fairs are there. Now, when we are talking about the Nestle and Deloitte campus recruitment, universities, the partners are there. Here, when I have talked about the hackathon, now most of the organizations, they are organizing this type of these hackathons, and then you participate, and then your institute will be included in the part of their recruitment. So sometimes you find that is very reputed, highly reputed institutes are not covered, but any other institute has been covered, because that is the talent which is having the innovative ideas participated in this type of the contest, maybe the case writing, case analysis, and on basis of that they have developed these particular partnerships. And Accenture and Microsoft, when we talk about diversity, equity and inclusion, that is ensuring that the fair opportunities across gender, ethnicity and backgrounds are there. When we are talking about the Unilever and Google and digital interviews using platforms like HireVue and Zoom is there. When we are talking about the gamification and situational assessment, that is another. For your generation, this hackathon and gamification and situational assessments that is making the Unilever PwC. So it is also possible that is in NPTEL my next course will be on the gamification, and you may find that is how through the games we are developing our talent. And here like the Unilever PwC, they are assessing the behavior and skills through the simulations or games are there. When we are talking about this Cisco AT&T, the internal mobility programs are there, promoting internal talent for the new roles instead of the hiring externally. And the Amazon and Google are there, the bar riser interviews are there to uphold the high hiring standards are there. Now, if I ask you that analyze this particular slide, what will be your findings? Suggestion is that is irrespective of any particular organization, irrespective of my right hand side column, please find out what are the different practices which you have to learn and adopt. For example, the culture, values, then the learning of AI tools, understanding the different the platforms and the global jobs, try to understand the talent practices, try to understand that is the nowadays you see that is even the job portals you are finding for the girls, for the gender, that is becoming the different priorities has been given in social media, and there are the I will discuss that with you later on also. I will show you that is under my one project how we have developed the different platforms are there, and you have to assess the develop your the behavior and skills through the simulation or games. For example, in my course I always have the simulation games for my MBA students so that then they understand that is how they can work on these games. Then the promoting the internal talent for the new ideas instead of hiring externally, and upload the higher hiring standards are there. Now, when we are talking about the talent acquisitions, then there are the 12 sourcing channels for the recruitment, and they are very prompt. They are the job portals, company career websites, social media platforms. Then the campus recruitment, global talent marketplace, internal talent pools, hackathons and coding, recruitment agencies, diversity job boards, alumni network, and diversity job boards for the women, right? And then the AI powered talent platforms are there. So therefore, in that case, we find out that is the this is becoming the very important to make the using these channel platforms are there. So online platforms of the job portals, company career websites, social media platforms, global talent marketplace, and AI talent platforms are there. When we are talking about the external events, it is a campus recruiting, hackathons and challenges, then the diversity inclusive focus job boards and the recruitment agencies are there. When we are talking about the internal sources also by the organizations, employee referral, internal talent pools, and the alumni networks are there. Now, I would like to take certain methods of the Indian recruitments are there. Let us take the Indian Oil Corporations Limited in the energy sector, public sector is there, and here we find that is transparent and the merit based is there, structured process and the merit and the reservation based process is there. Then they are having the certain campus recruitments also, especially for the IITs, NITs and IIMs placements are there. On then they have their own examination also, because the many times it has been seen there is a talent other than IITs and IIMs, they should also get the opportunities, and therefore that you can go through the online applications, websites and newspaper vacancy postings are there. Selection test and interviews are the written test and the interviews for the candidates. Apprenticeship programs are there, and there is a skill development under the Apprenticeship Act, and lateral recruitment, that is experienced professionals hired directly, that is also the practice of the IOCL, and the diversity and inclusion, that is the women and underrepresented groups prioritized are there. So what are their talent management practices? So once they acquire the talent, then they are having the workforce nurturing and retention is there, core commitment to employee growth. Unless and until the employee does not see a career path, right? The future. So everybody is looking for its future, including me also. So at this age also I am looking for my future career. So you will find that is many professors and they are having the second inning of their future career. So therefore in that case it is workforce nurturing and the retentions that becomes very important is there. Second important in talent management is how do you engage your employee. So engagement, Shofali has done a lot of work on employee engagement and she has given the formula vigor, absorption and dedication. So therefore unless and until you do not have that energy, and the energy by the how the energy is there, energy comes through the thought process, internal energy. So good thoughts and positive thought process and the positive food. So therefore in that case when you are having these practices and you reject the negative thoughts and you reject the negative food. Negative food means that food which is harmful for your health, and then in that case you will be having that employee engagement there because they are having the vigor. Similarly when we are talking about employee engagement, that is absorption, that is how do you absorb yourself, and here you will find that is the it is becoming a very important, that is you are becoming the more absorbed to that particular culture. So we got, and unless and until there is no commitment and devotion, right? Commitment and devotion that develops the servant leadership also. So here it is important to develop that particular commitment and devotion so that you will be able to come out with that particular formula of the career growth and opportunities. Succession planning is there, and IOCL specially prepare the future leaders. And so therefore in that case here with the pipeline, with the seniority come merit, there will be the succession planning, performance management practices, improving the employee performance. Now you see it is not only the performance, it is also the identifying the potential. So different talents, they are having the different potential. Now if you are not using that potential in the right direction, then there will be the talent will be wasted. So it becomes important that is the you are having that identification of that particular challenge and you develop the training and development, enhance the skills and the knowledge of this particular the your workforce, and that is becoming the talent management practices. Now when we talk about the Hindustan Unilever Limited and FMCG sector, so how they are making the talent management. So their first is the internship program, identifies the management talent from the top business schools and they acquire from them, and then they develop the talent is there, emphasizing the long term leadership potential through the specific programs are they are having in-house programs, and therefore they structure the talent, the career or the roadmap. So gamified the assessments are there, AI simulations are used to evaluate the skills, that is how much they are having that particular skill, and the digital recruitment, that is leveraging the social media for the branding and online hiring, and the diversity initiatives are there, actively promotes the gender diversity with the inclusive hiring targets are there. Now when we are talking about the Unilever talent development programs, that is they develop the future business leaders. We have seen the certain examples in the beginning of the session, and then you found out that is it is the ultimate goal of the talent development is understanding the future business, which are the areas where the future business is there. I have already mentioned that is here the service sectors, they are becoming the more and more prompt, emerging trends are there. So therefore when we are talking the education, hospitals, medical science, agriculture, and these are becoming the very future business leaders are required. When we are talking about the cross functional exposure, that is a broad experience across the business function is there, so multi skilled, the in the Unilever and the talent that is required, the multi-skilled talent is required. Real world challenges are the practical applications of the skills, then they are more focused. And the Unilever leadership leaders program is there, there is a structured rotational program for the young talent and they are developing that particular leadership skills. Summer internship programs are also there for the pre-placement offer, and therefore Unilever they are hiring the talent with the identifying through this the summer internship programs there. Now we will take the another example, that is the Tata consultancy services are there. So TCS recruitment practices, they are having the mass campus hiring, large scale recruitment through the standardized tests there, and this is created through the digital platforms, streamlined process using the proprietary platforms are there. Here the hackathons and contests, coding the challenge to identify the skilled the programmers and lateral hiring, recruitment of the experienced professionals, and diversity initiatives are there. So they enhance the workplace diversity is there. When we are talking about the info society services industries, they are having the global sourcing, recruiters are internationally for the niche roles are there. Then the internal mobility allows employees to transition between the projects. Now the skill based hiring emphasizes the skill over the degrees, digital recruitment is there, and the campus engagement will be there, the practices of the talent acquisition. When we are talking about the Reliance Industries Limited, it is a strategic campus hiring is there, and the centralized online recruitment, posting the job openings on the official Reliance career portals are there, and the grooming future leaders, that is developing the talent into the future leaders at the businesses of the Reliance by the running the leadership programs to train the high potential youth. Experienced talent acquisition is there, and recruiting professionals through the LinkedIn and the specialized agencies are there. Practical assessments and the interviews. Here, evaluating the candidates through the case studies and interviews are there. Diversity and inclusion focus, emphasizing the diverse hiring and the equal opportunities are there. So these are the all these organizations examples which I have given you. So all are searching for the talent, right? So question arises, what is a talent? So talent means that is the capabilities of the model. The talent DNA requires that particular hard skills. Now you see, that is the academically you may be very strong, knowledge based you may be very strong, because unless and until you are not practiced, you are not work on the skills which are required. Now this can be the soft skills also, not necessarily the technical skills are that is, or when we talk about the talent, they are very good into the HR skills also, interpersonal dynamics, interpersonal relationship. Because when we are talking about the leadership, what is a leadership? Leadership is a skill, and that skill comes through the HR skills, and therefore in that case this leadership program which makes you the more and more capable of understanding that how I can become the leader, and understanding the business and professionals are there. Here we have to develop that skill, that we can bring the business to the organization. If we are not able to bring directly or indirectly, so those who are into the manufacturing process, so then they are having these particular skills of developing the quality products, and that brings the businesses there. So for example, the automobile industries, when we are talking about that is about the Hyundai, suppose, then in that case it is the people, those who are working, they are bringing the business to the organizations by quality product. And then when we talk about the Maruti, then in that case also we see that it is the people, those who are bringing the quality to the product. So all these challenges having that particular the capabilities of these human factors, and that is how you are developing that human skills, conceptual skills, analytical skills, or the job knowledge, hard skills, and therefore in that case you will be becoming the, if it is the upper level of your all these skills upgradation, then you are a talented person. Now here when we are talking about the talent is very perfect in the job. Most of the time we find that is the people do not know the job, what job they are doing. Suppose for in MBA class, if I ask that is the what will be your job, right? So they may say the title, but title is not the job, right? Like management trainee, no, management trainee is not the job. What management trainee will do? So similarly, for example, when we are talking about the academics, so I will be teacher. So what teacher does? So therefore that is receiving the knowledge and sharing of knowledge and doing the research. So all this understanding and the skill development is required, right? And therefore if you practice more, then you will be developing these skills. Second is that is the nowadays organizations are working on the different projects. So therefore that project role, what is the role in that particular project, that you have to understand. Then the service template is there, that is how you are making that particular fulfillment of the requisition by the organizations and that particular positions. When we are talking about the talents, it is comprised of the people skills and competencies, interpersonal relationship dynamics, leading the people, understanding the people, identifying the talent, getting work done, and therefore every type of the manpower will be there, and then you have to ensure that you are able to get work done from them. Now the people, they are having this experience also, and because of their experience, they are developing that particular exposure, and they are getting that the expertise. So that experience and exposure, that is giving you that expertise at your workplace. They are highly qualified, that is the education is there, and their work is, that is how we can maintain that particular quality. So here, what is the role of the HR? So personal department that has been going to the strategic HR, like when I have started my career 41 years before, then I was the labor officer, and then that time labor officer was coming under that personal department. But later on, it has become the strategic HR, and learning and development, L&D, organization design, and total compensations and communication, that has become the business partner. So therefore, in that case, in the personal department, they were restricted only to the payrolls. But when we are talking about the strategic HR, and that has become the business partner, recruiting the TS through the application tracking systems, HR portals have been developed, and then the compensation and learning management, that has become the part of this strategic HR. Then when we are talking about currently the talent management, that is competency management, performance management, and the succession planning. So here performance management is there. How you are able to get the best performance from your employees, and that's why we talk about enabling environment, and enabling. So HR practices are creating the enabling environment. Many times you see in many organizations, it is the gym is there, their cafeteria is there, the indoor games facility is there, right? So whenever you feel the exhausted, you can go and work and come back with the re-energize yourself. So therefore, in that case, that is the performance management practices are there. When we are talking about that is employees turnover, so that is also a part of the generation Z, that is the average if we talk about the retention, talent retention, and that is average is coming about the 18 months. If it is coming to about the 18 months, it means that that person will be leaving the organization after 18 months. So you have to be the replacement for that particular person, and that is called the succession planning. So in the talent management, the succession planning is also a very important function is there. When we are talking about the competency management, it is the important, that is the how we are able to develop competency, means ability, knowledge, and skills, and that is called the KSA, knowledge, skills, and attitude, and that will develop the competency for an individual. And the talent is having the high level of knowledge, high level of skills, and with the very positive attitude he is having with the strong HR skills. So therefore, in that case, that managing the talent and with the all these functions of the HR, and the system integration and leadership development programs are there. So continuously organizations are trying to develop the young leaders. If we are acquired this particular talent in the organization, then question arises how to manage this particular talent. So it is now to increase to value provided by their human capital. You are investing so much of time, money, energy, and then you are hiring a person, and that is a talented person. So what should be the key process? Key process should be, that is a goal alignment. Every organization is having a vision statement, a mission statement, a goal statement, and therefore in that case, the employees, the talent which you are hiring, that should the employee's goal, that should match with the organizational goal. And when we are talking about this matching of this goal alignment, that is becoming the very important aspect of the executive process. When we are talking about the candidate selection, how you are acquiring the candidate, That is the, I think, talent acquisition is the basic route which supports the talent management. If you select the right candidate, then definitely you will be able to develop to manage that particular talent towards the organizational goal and success and vision. But if your selection process is not correct, then in that case the candidate will not be the able to deliver, or rather than it will be the mismatch between the organization culture and the candidate, because you are not tested the candidate will be able to work in that given culture or not. If you have not tested that candidate by his profile, by his qualifications, by his knowledge, by his skills, what skills, knowledge, qualification, what is the cultural background, what are these practices, if they are not matching with the organizational goal, then how you can develop a leader out of that particular candidate. So therefore, in that case, my emphasis is that the organization should be very cautious in the candidate selection. If you are an applicant, then you have to be very cautious to understand at the time of apply whether I will be able to fit for that particular culture or not. And that culture you can identify through the website of the organization, the practices of the organization, the achievements of the organization. You can focus on that is okay, these will be the requirements, and whether I will be able to fulfill these requirements, or I like to fulfill these requirements or not. And therefore, that becomes a very important key process. Then the potential performance management is there, and it is many times you are having the talented pool, but you are not able to get the outcome, and that is there is something lacking in the performance management is there. And we know in the performance management, you can recall the Hershey and Blanchard's model. There is unable and unwilling is there, able and willing is there, and the able and unwilling is there, and the able and willing is there, and then the telling, selling, participating and delegating styles. So therefore, the performance management has to be done by the proper appropriate leadership style. And when we are talking about the development of the employee, now the future goal, future requirements are there, and then through the performance appraisal forms, right, you understand what are the strengths and weaknesses of your employee, and then where you can develop that particular employee. We can develop the employee on the weak areas also, but here my suggestion is also develop his skills and towards his strength areas, because when you strengthen, the weakness are the minimized. Then but for this all motivation is required, and that is the rewards delivery is there. And if organization is having time to time the rewards, the processes, then people feel motivated, they work for that particular goal, because that motivation is always is a driving force towards the performance. So here, and not necessarily it will be always monetary, it can be the non-monetary also. So recognition is there, learning is there, the skill developments is there. So therefore, these are the rewards delivery which you can assign to your talented pool or manpower. Workforce is more, that is the whatever the suitable workforce is there, and then in engaged and committed employees are required. If you are having the huge force of the manpower, and but they are not engaged, they are not committed, so you have to look into the culture of the organization, the practices of the organization, because if the most of the people are engaged, it means that you have the wonderful the work culture is there. I always emphasize on the flexibility and adaptability. It is a MOD scale. I have done my PhD on managerial effectiveness through the MOD scale only: flexible, adaptive and productivity. That was my topic of this PhD. So therefore, in that case, today also it becomes very important with the changing into the type of organizations, changing into the technological changes. So therefore, in that case, it is becoming you are required to be the flexible and adaptive, and the naturally when you will be the flexible and adaptive, that is the productive is there. So the basic concept today what I am talking to you, that which I have worked since the 1996 for my PhD and completed in 1999. So in that case, you will find that is this flexible, adaptive and productivity, that is the key mantra for the becoming the effective manager. Now I will talk about the transformational dimensions of the talent management. There is planning, recruiting, incentivizing, developing and evaluating. When we are talking about the transformational dimensions, how the people are to be developed. So you know the managerial functions, planning, organizing, leading, coordinating and controlling is there. So therefore in the HR, when we are talking about the planning, so we plan about this recruitment is there, we understand that is what will be the manpower requirement, what will be our future business plans will be there, what are the changes are there. Please also understand that is your social, political, economical, legal and technological environment. You should be very much alert and you should have your general knowledge very strong into this belt approach. What is happening in the society, what is happening into the your surrounding technological changes, and whatever best possible way. Now again, I do not want to demotivate for those people, those learners, those who are not good into the technological skill, because the technological skill is not only the limit, rather than you can go beyond these skills and you can develop your the HR skills are there, and there are the number of future enterprises which you can develop, of your own service organizations you can develop, right? Now I would like to give the example of Shantanu, who has worked with Mr. Ratan Tata, and then there you find that is a good fellows organization, those who are helping to the senior citizens. So therefore in that case it becomes very important, that is what do you plan, and then you evaluation is there, that is the when you are making this identification and planning for the HR planning for the recruitment, then you have to evaluate the applicants and then recruitment them, and then the development is there, that is the through incentivizing, by giving them the incentives that you are developing them, and giving them the new adopting the new skills are there, and through these rewards when you are developing, then you have to analyze whether there is the ROI or not. ROI means it is not that is the financial ROI, but when you are nurturing a talent, ultimately what should be the outcome? That is, the person should become the talented employees. When we are talking about the transformational dimensions of the talent management, that is how to plan, how to evaluate and develop, and the how we can make the advance of the talent, that is developing the talent and evaluating the talent. Now first we will go by the planning is concerned. So in the talent planning, we are having the different planning phases. For example, workforce planning, succession planning and career planning is there. Whenever we are talking about the planning, we know the first step in the planning is what we want to develop, and then in here we want to develop the right mix under the constraints are there. Now here the strategic for the public and private sectors, that is a transformational is taken, and here example is the US demographic shifts, but I would like to add in this, that is about the Indian demographics. And when we are talking about the Indian demographics, then it is the youngest generation we are having, with the population of the 62 million who are below the 35 years of age. Now if we have to plan for this type of the workforce planning is there, then we have to predict the competencies are there. As far as the manpower is concerned, so we in India we are developing the competencies on the two aspects. One is the technical aspects, other is the managerial aspects. However, now the trend since last I can say from the 1 decade, and that is becoming the techno managerial skills are there. So many the technical graduates, they have preferred the management education also, and they are developing their competencies, technology with the management is there. So as a result of which, in the current scenario, this young population is ready, and there is a readiness in this population for the technological job, managerial jobs and techno managerial jobs are there. Now we determine the personal per job is concerned, and it will be important to know the each individual, and then normally we are having the three types of the people, that is manpower, that is unskilled, semi-skilled and skilled. And when we are talking about these the unskilled workers or the unskilled employees or manpower, then we have to plan there, that is how to develop these unskilled into the semi-skilled is there. For example, legally when we talk about that, it is the semi-skilled are those who are the jobs operations are the skilled one, but they are not technically qualified. For example, post is the machine operator is there. So machine operator operators. From the helper, he learns that is how to operate the machine. He becomes the expert, and then he becomes the machine operator is there. However, he has not done any particular course. But when we are talking about the engineering jobs, right from the top positions to the workers position, and then in that case that particular qualification is required, and that will be that will be about the developing, determining the personnel per jobs are there. Again, every organization is having the manual, HR manual is there, and through HR manual they develop the job descriptions, job specification, job analysis, and basis of that they are putting their compensation and rewards, and that is the model budget impacts are there. And on basis of this we are developing a organization structure, and manpower recruitment will be done as per the organization structure, and that report on the accuracy is there, requirement is there. So this preparation is at the macro level is there. When we are talking about the micro level, it determines the characteristics of the MCOs, right, and they suggest the career plans, that is what will be their career plans will be there, like for example the succession planning and all, and develop the succession plans on the basis of the who will be retaining in the organizations, who will be leaving the organization. Now with the help of the technology, right, and the AI, you can find out that is if this is the profile, this has been the past experience of the candidate, then what is likely the lifespan in this particular organization, means when he will resign from this organization, that you can predict. Now here the talent acquisition manager candidate gateways will be there, that is the recruiting is there, that they acquire the talent sourcing, selection and onboarding. Here this particular the flow which will be having the job openings, now the recruitment process start. So that was a part of the manpower planning. And now as per the manpower planning, as per you have designed the organization structure, you have created the positions or the jobs into the organization structure, and then here you will making them the selection on the boarding is there. So this will be the flow on the job opening, the managing the job postings are there, and when you are having the, like you visit the websites, on the websites you find that is there are the job openings. Social media, especially the LinkedIn is there, Naukri.com is there, and others they are having these different. I will be also sharing with you the certain other sources for examples, and then you can go for by that the understanding that is how social media is playing the role into the job openings are there, and then to manage the job postings, and you here the it also helps you to apply, manage the applications, and that is through the application tracking system. Then you are searching that particular job, and then the screening talent is to be searched, and then the screening of the applications will be done, and through routing interviews there will be the offers will be made to the right candidate after the successful completion of the interview, and then person will be onboarding. So this will be the total recruitment process that talent acquisition manager candidates, the steps will be there to get these particular all steps to be completed. Now here when we are talking about these e-compensation or the core HR is there, there is incentivizing. Now incentivizing, now in traditional time it was a time rate only, then it is started with the piece rate, and then now it is on the fixed pay and the variable pay is there. So on the basis of your performance there will be the variable pay, and as you perform, right, then you will get that particular increase in your pay system is there. Here the compensation as incentive is there, and as I mentioned in the variable pay, your compensation is keep on increasing, and that is becoming the incentive. When we say like a very young graduate, he can earn or his offer is about that is 10 million, right. So question, oh 10 million is how a young candidate from the IIT without experience is getting the 10 million, and the answer is that is it is a variable pay is there. So there will be the certain compensation period, that will be the fixed pay, and certain compensation period that will be the variable pay is there, and total variable pay, and that will be the package of that particular candidate is there. So here pay per performance, that is a variable pay, that becomes the nowadays very popular, and e-compensation or co-HR, they are working on this particular pay for performance. It is not only the monetary incentives, it becomes to motivate the employees, because you cannot have the unlimited monetary incentives, and every unlimited monetary incentives, if you are connecting with the performance, then some persons may get, some persons may not get. For some people it may motivate, for some people it may not be motivate, and therefore there should be certain non-monetary incentives are there. For example, the recognition. So therefore a person who is working for a long period of time, or who is working with the very high quality standards parameters, and then in that case also that recognition of that particular employee. For example, employee of the month, many times you see that is at the airport also, we see that is there is a picture, and that picture talks about that is the how you are making that particular high incentives, non-monetary incentives, the best employee, best that the security force person is there, and then it attracts to all, and that is making the non-monetary incentives are also there. Then high performance incentives are there, and which are related with the different interventions, because when we are talking about the variable pay, then it is a training. Now we are required to give this training to the talent, and the talent is getting that particular intervention, where you will be getting the opportunity for to learn the new skills, or a knowledge based training is there, and as a result of which the training is also a part of compensation. Now the job redesign is there, and whenever we are talking about the job redesigning, so as we are introducing the technology, right? So organization structure is changing, and the jobs are also changing. For example, earlier in the textile industry, so because I was 6 years into the as a labor officer into the textile industry, so I see that the earlier there were the one worker who was taking care of the 12 looms. Looms are the machines, 12 machines he was taking care of, and now it is going to be the 24 looms. The single person is able to monitor the 24 looms also. So it actually it is a generation development from the 4 looms to the 8 looms, 12 looms to the 24 looms. The one single is a person is taking care of so many looms, because now they are making more and more automated. So if this type of the job redesigning is done, then in that case definitely that particular intervention that will be also taking care of the compensation. Then the better higher selection is there. When you see many times it happens, there is a work but there is no suitable candidate, and there is a candidate but there is no suitable work is there. So this balancing is the role of the HR is there, and therefore better higher selection is always required. Otherwise you may get the number of applications, you may select the one but may not be the right person, and turnover is increasing. So ample resource provisioning is to be done for the that performance of that particular employee, and that is including the manpower support. Sometimes it is the money support is required, sometimes providing the technology support is there, sometimes changing the methods are there, practices are there. So therefore here you will find that is the better match worker, that is with the work is there. And I always say that is if the best performance we want, we have to match the worker with the work, and that is a personality job fit. So when you are matching the worker with the worker, you are getting the best output. Then the manipulation is easiest, that is the how you are making the pay cycles and the pay packages, compensation planning, that will be making the money in the manipulations are there. Now enterprise learning management is there, and enterprise learning management is developing the close competency gaps. How you can make the it is customized. Enterprise means that is a customize the competency gaps of these the individual through the performance appraisal, to the potential appraisal, from his the output and his record reports. You can find out where this person require the competency. So therefore, in the development, so therefore, wherever you find the gaps are there in the competency of that particular individual, so then you can develop that particular the gaps. So asynchronous training is required, and then the here we have to customize to the personal file. So it becomes very important, that is you are able to customize that particular person or employee with that customization of the skills. Then the Kirkpatrick evaluation, that and the AD model I will be discussing in the following slides, and the capturing the ROI is there. Now when we are talking about the e-performance and the e-development is there. So evaluating the appraisal actual work. Earlier there was the traditional appraisal systems were there, and that was once in a year. The time period was also very traditional, right? Nowadays nobody will believe, this young generation will not believe, that is even the performance can be appraised after the 1 year, and after 1 year you are telling to the employee where he went wrong, right? So he is not getting any opportunity for 1 year to correct himself or knowing himself, that is where things have gone wrong, which is which was that time it was the practice, but I think now we have updated ourselves much better. So it is the appraisal is normally the quarterly appraisal is there, but to be frank, I would like to share with you, that is I have seen many young employees, they are evaluated weekly performances they are evaluated. So if it is a targets based, it is a sales based, right? If this type of the profiles are there, then that appraising is that is done through the here about the weekly based is here. So where was the 1 year appraisal, and now where is the 1 week appraisal is there, and as a result of which now when talent is appraised every time, every moment, right? For these HR department, it has a difficult task, and marginal performance has been if there, then definitely you have to go for the L&D, that is the development is there. So you have to identify the what are the types of there, and you are required to be the judgmental whether there is a requirement of the development or not. If it is required, then developmental is required, and then multiple evaluation processes will be there to identify where the person is lacking and where he is required to develop. So talent management, when we are talking, it is a process, and in the process it starts with the workflows planning, HR planning, then the recruitment, then onboarding, performance management is there, then training and performance support. So workforce recruitment, onboarding and performance management, training and development, succession planning, compensation benefits, and the critical skills gap analysis is there. Now you will say, sir, this is it not the manpower planning only, and it is not the human resource management? It is not. How it is differentiated, that we find here, that is a journey towards these people engagement is there. When we talking about the talent management, we are talking about the talent acquisition, then the talent development, people retention, and talent nurturing. So these are the four aspects are there, where we talk about the talent management or the people management. Here it is the first part is the acquisition, which I have covered by the different organizations. That is the how they are recruiting, and what are their talent acquisition practices is there. Now we will see, that is the how these different aspects of the talent acquisition, development, retention, and the talent nurturing is there. This is a case study. Please go through this case study, and I will discuss this case study during my live session with you on this talent acquisition is there. And now the 8 most critical barriers in talent management and the percentage of the executives who rank them. So 54% senior managers don't spend enough time on talent management, right? So they have, because they are busy with their own work, and as a result of which they do not get the time for the talent management, because actually, in fact, in academics, We are responsible for the talent development. But in the case of these the industries, they themselves are so busy, they do not get the additional time for the talent management. Rather than they are busy with their own management of work. So 52% line managers not sufficiently committed to the people development is there. Many people even they are not willing to perform this particular task. 51% managers discourage collaboration and resource sharing. So here that is these 51% managers, those who are discouraging the collaborations and resource sharing is there. It becomes very important, that is the how we are going to make this particular aspect of whatever the collaboration is, resource sharing is there, that is required to be the not in the developing the younger people. 50% line managers unwilling to differently, that is differently high and the low performers are there. So then therefore in that case the unwillingness to differentiate the high and low performers, many people are not want to get involved into this differentiation. 50%. 47% senior leaders do not align talent management and the business strategies are there because they do not have time. So senior leaders, they are busy with their work, own work, and they want to work on their own styles. So this additional, this is the additional strategy business that is getting the talent management and the business strategies. They do not in fact are very much keen. 45% line managers ignore chronic underperformance is there. So even there are in the organization certain chronic underperformance are there, and then they are carry on. So here the Pareto's formula: 20% they are stars, 70% are mediocre, and 10% are the chronic underperformance are there. Now here if this percentage, if this percentage changes, then definitely in that case you will find that is it becomes very difficult for the organization to work efficiently and effectively, because the 20% stars are that they are reduced, and the mediocre has reduced and underperformance has increased, or it is the mediocre is increased and the stars are reduced. So therefore in both the cases we find that is it becomes a challenge for the line manager. 39% planning or allocation do not match right people to roles are there. And now it is also very interesting, that is the right person at the right job we talk about, and the person starts with, but by the time if there is no development of the knowledge and skills, then there will be not be the right person for the right job, but he has to be get promoted, and as a result of which there will be the mismatch. So such type of organizations, they do not have the long life cycles. If they do not modify their performance appraisal system, or they do not work on developing the talent, knowledge and skills, then it will be very difficult for giving that planning. The 38% CEO or senior team do not have shared views of the pivotal roles are there, and here it is the even the CEO and senior team, right? Then they are not telling the team members that why we are doing this particular job is there. So we have to understand if this is a scenario, what will be the best talent management benchmarking practices are there existing. So define management broadly. So it is very important, that is the talent for the automobile industry may not be the talent for the textile industry, right? So especially in the technical jobs, not into the HR jobs. So therefore in that case you have to find out that what is the talent. So if it is an engineering organization, then the skills are very important. If it is a service organizations, the HR skills are very important. So what is a talent? If it is a team building task are more into the workplace, then these collaborative skills are that are becoming very important. And those who will be able to work in a team, collaborative skills, are those who are able to work in the isolation, and that is about that the skills for these individual skills are there, and that is a talent. So somebody can be the very expert in by his own performance, but may not be the expert to get work done by others. So then But if the nature of job is to get work done by others, then definitely in that case he is not the talented for that particular organization, that particular task. So integrating the various elements of talent management into a comprehensive system is there. So every organization is to design and develop and articulate a customized system, and when you are having this customized system, you will be able to come out with that various talent management practices. Then the focusing the talent management on their most highly valued talent is there. Here it is important that is the you are having the highly valued talent, and when you are developing this highly valued talent at your workplace, then definitely you will be able to understand that is who are the really the talent for your organization, right? Those who are having that knowledge, skills, attitude, and those type of the work habits. There is a cash model which I have developed, and that if you are if for a particular organization, particular, so focusing on the most highly valued talent is there, which is most important for you. For example, in manufacturing organization, production is most important talent is there. In the pharmaceutical industries, the research scientist, that is the most important focused talent for you. If it is the hotel, then the chef is the most important talent for you. So therefore, in the as you classify in the academics, it is the teachers, faculties, professors, they are the most talented, highly valued talent for your academic institutes are there. So therefore we have to focus on the basis of the nature of business, nature of the organization, that which jobs are the highly valued talents are there. Now when we are talking about these CEO, senior executives committed to the talent management work is there, unless and until there is no commitment by these the top leadership for the talent management, it cannot be done. And in the organizations where the CEO and seniors are not bothered about that young talent, you find that employees turnover is very high. So building the competency models to create a shared understanding of the skills and behavior the organization needs and values in the employees are there. So naturally, for the retaining the employees and getting the performance outcome from the employees, it is the competency models are to be developed so that the skills and behavior of the employees, they can be turned on for the better performance. And here monitoring the talent system wide to identify the potential talent gaps are there. Excelling at the recruitment, identifying and developing talent, as well as the performance management and the retention is there. So talent acquisition is there, and then the talent development is there, talent retention and succession planning is there, and nurturing the talent is there. So therefore in that case, regularly evaluating the results of their talent management system is there. So here we find out this particular model, that is the after this talent acquisition and development, it is a people retention and the talent nurturing, that is becoming the very important. So that particular model, that is regularly evaluating the results of their talent management system for the nurturing the talent is important is there. This is the study which is based on the talent management conducted by the American Productivity and Quality Center and Center for the Creative Leadership is there. So how top executives from 10 countries are nurturing the leaders of tomorrow. So chief executive officers are increasingly responsible for and involved in talent management. The heads of the human resource departments play an important supporting role in the executing the talent strategies. CEOs spend a large amount of their time, often more than the 20%, on talent management. However, this effort is not typically guided by a formal talent strategy explicitly linked to the company's overarching goals are embedded in the business planning process. Rather, CEOs engage in selected supporting activities where they believe their add value is there. So it is very important, that is when we are talking about the talent management, here the CEO plays a very important role, the head of the human resource, right? And here that they spend a large amount of their time, and these are the more than 20% on the talent management. However, his efforts is not typically guided by a formal method is there. Here they require that to link to the company's overarching goals are embedded in the business planning processes. Rather, CEO engage in the selected supporting activities where they believe they add the value. Talent management has become more important because of a growing recognition that it helps to drive corporate performance even though the exact impact is hard to quantify. So, here we find out that is the good talent management is not undertaken in the piecemeal fashion, but consists of the comprehensive development programs. So, it is not a week, the talent management week is there, a talent management month is there rather than a talent management year. It is rather than a comprehensive continuous development program is there, and these include the identification of leadership potential, performance evaluation, targeted development activities, and the job expertise is there. So, here it becomes very important that is the we are able to lead the our talent with the this new include the identification of leadership potential and then convert into the job performance. Many CEOs mentor executives in their organizations, and an additional and important part of the program, they regard the development of the next generation of leaders as one of the best ways of the leaving a strong legacy. And when we are talking about as that is the how that are leaving a strong legacy, the in next generation, here it has become being the transformation from that quality programs, those practices and development of the next generation from the first one phase to the another phase is there. So, when we are talking about the talent acquisition is the process of attracting the finding and selecting highly talented individuals, those who align with the business strategy of the organization, and therefore in that case if the business strategy of the organization is about the more technological based, more human skill based, accordingly we will have the talent acquisition practices are there who will integrate smoothly and productively into the organization and its culture. And therefore, in that case basically when we nurture a talent, talent nurtured is a customized specifically for a particular organization culture, right, and that organization requires a particular competencies. That's why that particular talent has been developed in a particular skill, and when we develop that particular skills, then that develops the productivity is there to meet the current and future employment needs are there. So, how do you identify your critical talent? Critical talent are the people who create the value an organization needs to succeed, and answering the following questions will help to isolate these groups and individuals. Which strategies, skills and capabilities are crucial to your current and future success are there? And suppose we ask you that is the what are the your strategies, skills and capabilities are there your current and future success, which do you have? What emerging workforce trends, supply and demand of engineers will impact your ability to deliver the values are there? And who supports your critical segments of the talent within their network? Are these supporting the people difficult to replace? Within your critical workforce segments, who possess the greatest and the future potential? Now, question arises, why is it important? The Commonwealth must have the right people to fill the right needs at the right time. So, therefore, in that case success, effective acquisition sets the stage for the success of the agency and the employees. And the cost multiple sources identify the cost of a bid hires is a 1.5 to the 3 times per salary, and the opportunity loss is the amount of time need is left unfilled results in opportunities unrealized and the cost is incurred. So, therefore, in that case if you are not having the proper talent practices, you see the cost is incurred and your success is not the are set as per the expectations. So, core concept is get away from the fill in the blocks thinking, no one that is a more proactive. So, it is that is vacancies are there, organization structure is given, right, but it is not the fill in the box thinking, and that is more to the proactive is required, so that you know what is going to be the recruitment. And that is why you find many companies when they go for the campus placement, they are going in the month of the October, November, even. So, which are they likely to join after the July, but that is because of the ones that is the more proactive organizations are there, much closer to building the skill sets required to achieve the business success. And here we will be able to find out that is what skill sets are required, and this is a key to success in the talent acquisition is the unique way that you are able to tap into the top performers who are not really looking for the another job. So, once the talent is there and then the talent is getting the recognition, development, and then they are becoming the in the top positions and they continue for the long period of the time is there. So, it is a requisition process, that is what are the talents are required, that you get to know from the different departments and different sources, and then you find out that is what will be the different sourcing, that is it will be the social media, it will be internal referral, or it will be the external recruitment process will be there, and then you ask for the applications are the screen, and screening and interviews are done, and accordingly on basis of the interviews either there will be the employment or there will be the indication of the negotiation will be there. So, how to measure, that is you are having the right talent acquisition strategies. So, quality of hire is there, there is a percentage of new hires that where the organizations are top choice, and the quality of candidates, the ability the organization to define the knowledge, skill and abilities needed to succeed in the job and work environment, and to source candidates that meet the competencies are there. And the program satisfaction is there, where the hiring manager satisfaction with the recruitment and hiring process and quality of candidates are there. So, time to hire is to take to fill a position from jobs open until the position is offered and accepted. So, new hire retention rate, the number of new hires who remain on the job for the first 12 to 18 months are there. New hire failure rate is the percentage of the new hires in the key jobs they determined are asked to leave. So, therefore, in that case it is what is your the time higher retention is there, what is the time to hire, and then accordingly you can find out that is the in the case of the new hire retention rate where they as compared to the new hire failure rate, you are going for the number of new hires who remain on the job for the first 12 to 18 months. So, performance ratings of the contributors or the extraordinary contribution is there, where the top candidates meet or exceed the expectancies on the performance reviews are there. Now, here are the certain best practices, additional tips for the talent acquisition strategies. Best practices are proactively build and expand the pool of candidates, seek to fill the positions internally if applicable, improve candidates pre-screening process. And therefore, in that case you have to give more time, you have to understand, though I know that is you are having the ATS application tracking system which is the very modern, but still stick to the understanding, improve the candidates seeking pre-screening process, and then the enhance employer brand and reputation in the requiring marketplace is there. So, here it is becoming the important, that is the what type of the reputation and the recruitment you are having in the market, and the people normally find that is for a particular position, if the organization is giving the again and again advertisement, it means that that particular position people are not ready to continue with the work for a long period of time, and that will be the challenge. So, create the efficiencies in recruitment process and the workflows, and obtain the input from the hiring managers. So, the hiring managers, they will tell you that is the what are the perceptions, what type of applications are coming, what type of the talent is available to you, our market, who wants to do, and then what are the capabilities which are ready to join the organization. And after obtain the input from the hiring manager, solicit the new hire feedback, and therefore the person will be having that is identifying these how we can work on the talent management by those particular feedback has been received. Emphasizing the strategic workforce planning beyond the 18 months is there, because we know that is the average time period is of the 18 months. So, you want to increase that particular time period, you will work for the more, then definitely you will get at least less. So, scale back are the freeze talent acquisition efforts with the then we the arises are there. Talent acquisition practices by the various organizations are the Google, Infosys, IBM, FedEx, Tata Consultancy Services are there. So now we will talk about the talent acquisition at the Google is there. So it receives over 1 million resumes per year, right? And therefore, in that case of those, they are higher between 4,000 to 6,000. That is a 0.01% to the 0.04% they hire. The process of getting hired is that is a recruiter screen is there, and the recruiter screens every resume for the technical requirements, education and experience to make sure there is a potential fit. And this has been the part of that Google, that is recruitment screens that has been developed. Then the phone screen is there. A recruiter will contact you, explain the process and inform what to expect. The recruiter may ask for the that college GPA if this is a technical role, and then if it is a technical role, and online interviews will be there, and on basis of the candidate will be selected. If on the phone the candidate has been found suitable, he will be called for the on-site interview. The first on-site interview will be with 4 or 5 people for 45 minutes each, and if this is a technical role, applicant may be asked to solve technical problems in the real time, which may include the coding or solution or the whiteboarding design is there. So therefore, in that case, many times when you are having that particular issue in the recruitment, then you will go by the on-site interview will be there, and as you after interview you will get the feedback. So every interviewer submits their feedback in a standard format about the candidate and assigns a numerical ranking to the candidate. A search is done to match the candidate's resume to existing employees. Resume to find matches for the school or companies for the years specified. An email is sent to the Google employee asking their opinion or on the candidate is there. Hiring committees are formed. The committees consist of the senior managers and directors and experienced employees from this domain. They see all the potential candidates for the all open jobs in this area, so they have a very good understanding for the required capabilities and abilities of highly qualified people. The committee reviews every piece of the feedback as well as the resume and the work experience are there. The executive reviews are senior level management reviews and approves the every offer. The compensation committees are the compensation committees determines the appropriate total compensation for the offer. Now final executive review, and one of the top executives look at the all employment offers before they are extended to the candidate. Now the offer is the recruiter will notify the selected candidate of an offer. So here and will explain all the details to the offer. Google's offers are very competitive, generous and very thorough. Google wants to its talent to be happy, motivated and totally focused is to be there. Here when we take now certain examples of the top recruiters. According to the Lisa, global head of candidate experience, talent, engagement. The 4 fundamental skills that every candidate must have to get hired at Google are the general cognitive ability, and that cognitive ability means that is they're solving the problem, and attitude, leadership, and here the googliness, that is a culture compatibility and role related knowledge is there. So therefore, in that case if the candidate which is having the high cognitive ability and the leadership qualities, here he will have that culture compatibility and the role related knowledge is there. So general cognitive ability means what? The general cognitive ability means it closely relates to the problem solving, and therefore there are the puzzles which you have to solve. It is the most important of the 4 abilities. Activity, general cognitive ability questions: how would you measure the effectiveness of an employee referral program? If you were the chief traffic officer of a metro city and someone asks you to reduce the traffic gridlock, how would you solve this? And tell me about a time when you had to come up with a creative solution to solve a problem. And here the Google's leadership pyramid is, that is the how we are going to be the technical skills, that is possess the expertise to advise team, vision and strategy, that is set clear and goals and plans, and then career development, support employees performance. So therefore in that cases there the whether it is giving this development to the candidates or not. Communication and listening is there, effectively convey and here team's input. and the productivity and results are there, which are the drive for the efficiency and outcomes. Then the success and well-being focus on the team's achievements and the health is there, and the coaching and empowerment guide and trust the team members. So when we are having these technical skills, vision strategies, career development programs, that is leadership pyramid and communication and listening, the productivity and results are there, drive for efficiency, the success and well-being, team's achievements and the health, coaching and empowerment, that is guiding and trusting the team members are there. When we talk about the googliness, then it is related to the culture. The company pays attention to how you might fit into its culture, and Google values collaboration and working well in teams and navigating the ambiguous situation. These characteristics illustrate how compatible candidate is with the Google's ideas. Now there is a role related knowledge. So these are the skills and experience that are needed to perform in a given role. So out of the 4 attributes, the problem solving ability is valued much more highly than the ability to do well in a set role is there. The idea behind it is, if you are a smart problem solver and you are good at learning, you can figure out anything, that is going to be the role related knowledge on the job. So when we are talking about the war for talent, this is about the discussion which you can go through this, and I find out that is the how you are making these Google web search engines and the search engines and all, and this you will develop, and you will answer, identify the critical aspects of talent management and what can Google to do with the manage its talent is there. This is about this particular case study which you can go, and you can identify the critical elements of the talent management is there. Here the work environment, encouraging the employees to come up with the ideas and encourage the participation. And the working environment should be conducive not only for the work, but it should be such that the people enjoy being in the workplace is there. Now the benefits, that is allows the employees, should be compelling enough for them to remain in the organization. So use coding and other contents for the college students to identify and recruit of the top talent is there. Now when we are talking about the benchmarking practices followed by the Google, the recruiting machine is there. It has the world's largest recruitment budget, has a ratio of about 1 recruiter for every 14 employees. And when we are talking about these 1 recruiter for every 14 employees, its recruiting personnel are divided into the categories. For example, when we are talking about the recruiting personnel, recruiting research analysts are there, those who work on this particular recruiting personnel, and then the candidate development sources are there. Here there will be the process coordinators. So therefore different the positions are there, those who will be helping into this recruitment are there. Then the candidate screeners are there, those who will be screening the candidates applications. Specialized recruitment for the college, that is in campus recruitment team is there who will work on that. Specialized recruiters for the technical and leadership executive search, and here when we are talking about this type of the team, those who will be working on the identifying who are the best technical experts, are the understanding the candidates are having, and what leadership qualities are there. Specialized international recruiters are there, those who will be working on the what are the international recruiters, because they know about the different countries culture, they know about that is a talent in the different countries, what will be their strengths and what will be their weaknesses, what their opportunities they can get. And these recruiting program managers, they will be helping into all these recruitment process. And then the recruiting project managers, that is a particular project where they will be working on this the recruitment is there. So when we are talking about the benchmarking practices by Google, so it is the work itself as the primary attraction and retention tool is there. Many organizations have changed their pay or benefits in order to attract the better workers. Now what happens, that is it is the to attract and retention the talent, the first and foremost thing which comes in the mind, that is provide the more benefits to attract the better workers. But Google has changed every professional job in the company just so that the work itself is the primary attraction and retention tool is there. So nature of jobs, because the people, the first salary may attract you, you. But if the nature of job is not attracting you, then you will not be able to give your best. And therefore, the Google keeps this in mind, this particular concept, and therefore they ensure that is the primary attraction for any particular employee is to the working, continuing and retention to the organizations are there. Now, the Google makes the job enrichment. So, each job has been the crafted to all the employees are working on interesting work, learning continuously, constantly challenged to do more, feeling that they are adding the values are there. So, 20% CHAM employees work the equivalent of 1 day a week on their own researching individually selected projects that the company funds and supports, and it provides them an opportunity of working for what they believe in. So, it increases the ownership of what they are doing and drives innovations and creativity is there. So, these are the casual dress, there is no particular uniform, on-site physician and dental care, free massage and yoga, shoreline running trails are there, free drinks and snacks everywhere, free meals including the breakfast, lunch and dinner, free recreation everywhere including the video games, football, volleyball and pool tables, then the valet parking for employees and the car washing facilities, maternal and paternal leave, fuel efficiency vehicle incentive program, and therefore an on-site gym to work off all the snacks are there. So, therefore, in that case, when we are talking about these benchmarking practices by the Google benefits, with this particular understanding, we understand that these practices are there where the Google is making the talent acquisition and talent management and talent developing practices. It is also taking care of the how talent is to be retained and how the talent can be nurtured. Rest of these practices we will be discussing in the second phase of these talent acquisition practices and talent management practices.
Hello all, I am Sakshi Tiwari, working as a research scholar under Professor Santosh Ragnikar, Department of Management Studies. I am appointed as one of the TA for this course as well. So, for learning any course, there are 3 steps. One is learn the course, second is recalling the course, third is applying what we have learned in the course with the case study or the simulation game. So, for the third step, I am going to discuss a case study with you all. So, what we have learned in this course in last 5 lessons: leadership theories, personality and leadership, intelligence and leadership. So, in leadership style, sir has told various type of leadership like servant leadership, adaptive leadership, transformational leadership, and when we concern situation, then situational leadership. And then in the concern of intelligence, he has explained various kind of intelligence: emotional intelligence, cultural intelligence and adaptive intelligence. So, there is a case study which can be considered as an application of all these structure. So, coming to the case study part, the case study is revolving around Indian cricket team. In 2007, when Greg Chappell, who was earlier a cricketer or batsman of Australian cricket team, appointed as a coach of Indian cricket team with a vision to make Indian cricket team as a world best team. So, when he welcomed in the Indian cricket team, his vision to make India as a topmost team, he has introduced various kind of unconventional techniques like six-head techniques, lateral thinking. So, initially, he has welcomed with a short-term success as team has proved great in his success. But the problem arises when clashes erupt, when the senior player got ignored. So, those who were in sympathy with the senior player like Saurav Ganguly has erupted the message that Greg Chappell is lacking in cultural sensitivity as well as in empathy. So, the team has departed in the 2 parts. One, those who were in favor of Saurav Ganguly. Second, those who have in the favor of Greg Chappell. Sudden breach of trust has been happened when Greg Chappell has leaked some confidential team information in the news. So, at the end, when India crashes out of 2007 World Cup in the first round itself, a humiliating disaster has been happened. The team that was supposed to the first ranker has existed embarrassingly in the earlier round as well. In desperate attempt to salvage the situation, Chappell has recalled previously dropped players like Saurav Ganguly, Jahir Khan, Anil Kumble just before the World Cup, creating a confusion and uncertainty about team composition. Disjoint team fails spectacularly. National disappointment is massive. So, there are certain key lessons that can be take from here. After chapters exist, following the World Cup debacle, cricket experts and management scholars analyze what went wrong. This case raises critical questions. What role does cultural sensitivity play in team management? As we have seen in the cultural intelligence, how do you balance innovation with respect to existing culture? How do you manage star egos in high performance teams? What does strong leadership become destructive authoritarianism? So there are certain key lessons that can be understood from here. So a leader need not to be only be expertise in his technical lessons as well. He must be empathetic, must be knowledgeable about the culture he is working in, which as in India there were a culture of high distance where innovation not only welcomed but how you are treating with the senior player as also matters. So like in Australia where direct communication is matter, but in India direct communication is not matter. Here privacy of cricket team and players also matters. So we can also summarize from here that balance of authority with collaborative decision making is the essential skill required in any leader. So from overall this case study we can conclude that when problem arises that leader is not effectively managing his team, what are the certain prerequisites we need to consider? We need to consider the cultural concept or the cultural context in which we are working, empathy, how other player are facing the problem, why they are not coming with the right solution, why they are not performing well in the game. We need to consider that as well. Other context is we cannot ignore the respect for senior player because they have experience. Maybe we can say that their experience is more benefited for other player who are junior to them. We cannot ignore the other concept like their personality, from which background they are coming, their environment. So we need to take care of all the points that we have understood till now. So you can summarize this case study as in the workplace as well. In workplace when some employee is not behaving correctly, so we cannot ignore him. We must to keep in mind the three factor: heredity, environment, and also the situation why he is not working well. When we consider all this situation, all three situation, we will find the solution for their misbehave or why their performance is not up to the mark. Thank you.